Dios.
Last time we talked about how making Sicario 3 seemed pretty impossible, but now we've got news that the producers are saying the threequel is actually moving along further than we thought. And it gets even better. Sicario 3 might fix the biggest mistake from the sequel and bring back what made Villeneuve's original so great. If that sounds confusing now, just stick around until the end and it'll all make sense. Plus, we've got some other things to break down along the way, like Josh Brolin giving a mixed update on Sicario 3 6 years after Day of the Soldado, and why Sicario 3 is the perfect film for Denis Villeneuve to take on after his next two projects. So make sure you like the video and hit that subscribe button so we can dive into all the Sicario questions and more. Alright, let's kick things off by talking about why the perfect way to make Sicario 3 is sadly off the table now. I know it sounds kinda weird considering we just heard the producers are moving forward with it, but hear me out for a second. If you don't agree, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Despite all the hope for the franchise's future, it's starting to look like the best case scenario for Sicario 3 might not happen. The original Sicario in 2015 was one of the best crime action thrillers of the decade, thanks to Denis Villeneuve's direction and Taylor Sheridan's writing. Funny enough, it came out before either of them were at the level of fame they're at now, Villeneuve for Dune and Sheridan with his hit TV shows. The sequel, Sicario Day of the Soldado, came out in 2018 with Sheridan still writing, but with Stefano Sollima stepping in to direct. Fast forward 6 years, and while Sicario 3 is confirmed, not much is known about casting or who's behind the camera. Josh Brolin and Emily Blunt both seemed unsure when asked about it, and there's even talk that the script is already done. The holdup could be finding time to get everyone together, especially since Blunt's been super busy lately. But honestly, if Denis Villeneuve could come back, it might change everything. Here's the deal. Bringing Villeneuve back for Sicario 3 could be the best move for the franchise. Just compare the quality of the first film to Day of the Soldado. It's obvious how much Villeneuve's touch elevated it. He's already shown he's a sequel master with Dune, and Sicario 3 could really benefit from his cinematic magic. Villeneuve's got a lot on his plate with projects like Dune 3, a nuclear war movie, and a Cleopatra remake, so it's looking less likely he'll return. But hey, if the delays keep piling up, who knows? If not Villeneuve, there are some other talented filmmakers who could take the reins. Names like Christopher McQuarrie, David Fincher, Steve McQueen, and even up-and-comers like Jeremy Saulnier and Danielle Goldhaber have all been mentioned as possibilities. McQuarrie could bring that intense Mission Impossible vibe. Fincher's tension-building skills are legendary, and Saulnier's made a name for himself with gritty thrillers like Green Room and Rebel Ridge. There's a lot of potential here, but it's clear that finding the right director will be crucial for Sicario 3 to really nail it. As for when we say that Sicario 3 is further along than we thought, here's the scoop. In a recent interview, producers Smith and Luckenbill shared with Collider Steve Weintraub that the Sicario 3 script is almost ready to go. While the writer's strike earlier this year did cause some delays, the script is now back on track after the WGA strike deal was made. Luckenbill also dropped an interesting tidbit, mentioning that the plan was always to make at least 3 films. The strike slowed us down a little bit, but we're pretty close to being able to pull the trigger on that and really start lining up dates. We're super proud of it. Working with Taylor Sheridan, we always envisioned this as at least a 3-part thing. But yeah, our idea is to get the cast back together with Benicio del Toro, Emily Blunt, and Josh Brolin, and we've got a great story to tell. Sicario 3 could tie everything together, and getting Emily Blunt back in the fold would definitely bring some serious drama. Her character, Kate Mercer, was an FBI agent who got caught up in the mess of government operations on the Mexican border, making her a potential whistleblower. Her return would raise the stakes, making us all nervous for her safety. The fact that it's taken this long to nail down the script actually works in the movie's favor. Smith mentioned that they understand the pressure to get it right, which is why they haven't rushed it. She teased that the movie is epic and totally worthy of being the third in the franchise. We have a script we're reworking right now, but we're getting very close. We feel very confident we're going to crack it. I would say we know the pressure of getting it right, so we're not rushing that process, but we are very confident that we're going to crack the shooting draft, hopefully very soon, and be able to get the whole band back together because the story is epic and it's worthy of the third. Sicario 3 has the potential to fix some of the issues that the second film struggled with, especially by bringing back what made the first movie so great. The original Sicario from 2015 had a perfect mix of tension, gritty storytelling, and unforgettable characters like Kate, Alejandro, and Matt. The chemistry between Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin was a big part of what made the film stand out in a crowded genre. The characters felt real, grounded, and their interactions were powerful, making the stakes even more intense. However, Sicario Day of the Soldado didn't bring back Blunt's Kate, and it was definitely felt by the audience. While the second movie still had strong performances, the absence of Kate's moral compass and the tension between her and the other characters made the film less compelling. Thankfully, there are recent updates about Sicario 3, and it seems like there might be a chance for the trio to reunite. Although the details are still scarce, the series producers have hinted at bringing Blunt, Del Toro, and Brolin back, which could give the third film the same magic as the first. Blunt's portrayal of Mercer was central to why the first Sicario resonated with audiences. She wasn't just a well-written character. She also brought a layer of complexity by constantly grappling with the moral ramifications of her actions. Her chemistry with Alejandro and Matt was key to the tension in the film. Her character was someone the audience could relate to, especially with how she challenged the ethical actions of her superiors. Bringing her back in Sicario 3 would add depth to the story and could elevate the film's script. Blunt didn't return for Day of the Soldado, mainly due to scheduling conflicts, but there was also a storytelling reason. In the sequel, the filmmakers wanted to show the lawlessness and corruption caused by government politics. Removing Kate, who was the moral backbone of the first film, made sense to allow the story to focus on the darker elements. While her absence was understandable from a plot perspective, it did hurt the film, as Kate's grounding influence was missed. If she does return in Sicario 3, it'll be fascinating to see how her character has evolved, particularly after everything she went through in the first film. But if the core cast comes back, it could be a step in the right direction. Fans are hopeful that the third installment can recapture the magic of the first film, and with the right combination of characters, it might just do that. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.